won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers.
What up, and welcome back into Pregaming here on the Sports Money Network. I'm your boy, Mikey Money. I'm going to talk to you guys about some action in the sports atmosphere this evening. Kind of a small slate when it comes to the NHL. Not kind of. It's a 3-game NHL slate. So I've got two plays. I got a player prop, and then I got a total for you guys in the NHL. I opened up a little bit wider in college basketball because these are the kind of spots that I enjoy the most. A lot of mid-tier basketball. A lot of slimy, grimy games for us to get paid with. And then I'm going to bring you guys home with the NBA. I've got 2 games in the NBA. Again, kind of a smaller card in the NBA tonight too. So maybe not smaller, but I don't know. I just was looking at some of these lines and totals, and I found quite a few spots that I wanted to get involved with, but I narrowed it down to a few for winnable from some of the best bets, and then another spot or 2 that the funny thing is these lines just keep moving. It's just bizarre. It's beyond bizarre. I've been talking earlier today with our guy Shark. We were talking about comparing notes in the NBA. We just can't seem to get on the same page here tonight. So it's going to be a tricky slate in the NBA, but I'm ready to try to fight the fight with you guys. I hope you are as well. No show last night, obviously. I was indisposed. Had some things come up, trying to make some adjustments here with some technology, and I just couldn't get it all to work in time. So it's all right, though. We're back. We're ready to attack it here tonight. I did post the plays over on the post tab, the community post tab for all members last night, bronze, silver, and gold member levels. I don't want to leave anybody high and dry. I thought, you know what? Here's a spot. Let's see if we can take a shot. And since I wasn't live, I wanted to make sure you guys still had, albeit my plays, not necessarily my thoughts about those plays. So we went okay. We did all right. We went 2-2 in the NBA, 2-1 in college basketball, 1-2-1 in the NHL yesterday. So middling kind of a day. I did finish up strong last night over on Winnable. I tweeted out a couple last minute plays, late night last minute plays right before they started in the Australian Open. We cashed our women's tennis bet with Rybakina, whatever. She cashed, and she was like a plus 110. And then I cashed the minus 2.5 sets there against Blake Shelton. Yannick Sinner found a way to get it done for us. 1-1 early today with some action. Lost the under by like 4.5 points in the afternoon college basketball game. Did cash the parlay for the Champions League soccer play. So we've got one more play that's popping off here momentarily that I gave out earlier today. So we won't cover that because I don't like to rush into some of them spots. They just seem like they're inherently bad luck, but it's all good. We'll cover it. We've got the Avs and the Senators. We've got the Flyers and the Blue Jackets. We've got a bevy of college basketball, like I mentioned before. Bonaventure, Duquesne, the School of the Nurse, North Texas and Tulsa, Illinois State and Murray State, Oregon State and Loyola Marymount, and then San Francisco and Santa Clara to bring us home in college hoops. And then I mentioned I've got the Spurs and the Rockets. I've got the Jazz and the Warriors. So we're going to find our way through this slate here this evening. We did have a glorious Monday. Didn't get a chance to recap Monday because I was not here yesterday, but Monday went down just fine. 7-3 day here on the Pregaming show here at Sports Money Network. We cashed, we made about 4 units in profit there. Let me see. Got to be clear. Got to be true. Got to stay transparent. We're having a good week. we're in the profit this week, so we got to keep it going here. Yeah, look, we cashed the under in Coastal Carolina. Penn State sucks. It's important. This is why it's important that we recap some of these things, because we got to remind ourselves things like Penn State sucks. Knew they sucked, thought they would suck, but didn't expect them to suck as bad as they sucked in that first half. They lost by 18 points. So that 7.5 points was nowhere near enough points, which means they suck. Louisville and Duke game easily went under 157.5 for us out there. They had 135 points. We nuked that total by 22. College basketball wise, easily cashed the Arizona spot. I mean, it was easy, but it was sweaty at the same time. Came down to BYU had a shot there at the very end of the game to tie it. Didn't get it. Blew it. Arizona gets the cash for us out there. I figured that game would happen just like that. Start out early, leave the back door open, and sure enough, that's pretty much how it went down. And then we went over into the NBA. We cashed the under 225 in Orlando. I forgot the Stonehill ad too. We got the under 135.5 in Stonehill. It was a good day. It was a good day on Monday. So look, under 225 in the Orlando Do You Believe in Magic? What else? We had the under 231.5 in Golden State Warriors. So smaller slate. We had to be a little bit more selective. We got there. And then, of course, in the NHL, we lost the under 6.5 in the New York Rangers game. We cashed the under 6 in the Flyers game. We lost the Utah Mammoth game. And then we won the puck line, the -1.5 for the Edmonton Oilers. That was a crazy game, that Edmonton-Anaheim spot in retrospect. Also, we cashed our free play of the day. So a lot of good things happening here. Lots of big progress being made as we continue to move down the line here. It is Wednesday, January 28th. So we're at hump day. We're a hop, skip, and a jump away from the weekend. And important to mention, live show Saturday for the UFC. They're down under. They're in Australia. Not a single WMMA fight on the card. New bonus structure. And we'll be live for that thing as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun to get there. But sadly, no college football, no NFL this weekend. What are we going to do with ourselves? We're going to have to find a way to get paid is what we're going to do with ourselves here. So there will be a ton of action flying here. We're getting closer to the Olympics. You guys know the deal with the Olympics. Then, be remiss not to mention March Madness is right around the corner. So you'll find the live college basketball show. My guy C-Mac and I will be rocking and rolling, tuning up the books on Saturday morning, 11 a.m. So you can get ready for the 11 a.m. show. And look, UFC 325 action content already out there from VB MMA Picks and Ramon Scott. Debated getting into it. Debated going back out there, but Coach, we just weren't getting the views, you get 50, 60, 100, 150 views. I don't want to be a view snob, but a lot of work to get those. And after 2 years of showing winning track record, probably should be twice or 3 times that amount of views. So, hey, listen, just like anything else, if the views aren't there, we'll cut it. We'll find something else that everybody enjoys, and we'll find a way to get everybody paid from it. So, that being said, the best thing you guys can do to help continue to grow our platform, continue to build our community, continue to entice new eyeballs. I'm doing my part. I'll tell you that right now. I switched over on the Instagram side of things for the free play of the day. I went from the post to the reel. More editing, more video production, but we got 1,600 new eyeballs last week. In 1 week's time, one switcheroo of the old model from the post to the reel, 1,600 new eyeballs to the Sports Money Network. So welcome those that are seeing us for the first time. I appreciate you guys checking us out. If you could kindly smash that thumbs up button so we can continue to get the next 1,600 new eyeballs in here and see if we can't get some new community members, see if we can't get some new guys that cap the card, find unique sports that are their specialty, and help us all just make more money. But the way we do that, boys and girls, is smashing that thumbs up button. Let YouTube know we're here. Get loud, get proud. Say it with me. Smash that thumbs up button, and we'll get to work. Yep. All right, you guys. let's get to it. Let's talk some action. Let's talk some spots. There is an Instagram play of the day that is out there. I made a change on my phone on accident. I was waiting for a call. I tell you, with this fucking company I've been dealing with here, I spent trying to get this internet fixed. You guys may or may not believe it. I spent, where is it? At 10:40 this morning. Look at this. I can't see it. 5 hours. I was on hold for 4 hours and 40 minutes trying to figure this thing out. Dude, this is a long ass time. I was downright disrespectful. And every 30 seconds, their message popped on and said, "We appreciate your time. We know that you're busy." Bullshit, you appreciate my time. And if you know that I'm busy, why you keep me on hold for 5 hours? But I digress. I'm ready to go. I hope you guys are too. I'm excited about this slate this evening. We might as well kick it off. We'll go player prop central here to pop the top on the shop. See if we can't get these bookies' panties to drop as we look at a small card. We got a couple of spots here. The Rangers and the Islanders. The Battle of New York. The Battle of Shitbag Goaltenders. Spencer Martin and David Rittich. Red Light Rittich. Former New York Ranger. Bear that in mind. Potential bounce back revenge opportunity. Not bounce back, but revenge opportunity. Then we went over to Colorado and the Avalanche. Colorado Avalanche and the Ottawa Senators. I'll tell you, the Sharp Perspective betting report came in on the Ottawa Senators. I got a total for you in this game. I don't know if I can go to the Senators. It is Mackenzie Blackwood. It is James Reimer. Philadelphia Flyers, Columbus Blue Jackets gives us Danny Vladar should be back and ready to attack. He had the lower body injury that he was dealing with for the last 2.5 weeks for the Philadelphia Flyers. And then Elvis Merzlikins. Elvis has not left the building. He has not played in over a week. We know the goaltending change. We know the GM change. We know the coaching change. The new coach for the Columbus Blue Jackets ain't so much a Merzlikins fan. And I get it. He's got a 3.81 goals against average. He's just 500. The thing about this team, though, is since the coaching change, they're on fire. You know, they're playing hot right now. And you got a Philadelphia team that, well, just coming off the shutout loss. So I would tip my hat and lean to the team coming off the shutout loss, as you can expect and imagine. One of my favorite spots out there. The Blue Jackets have won 6 of their last 7 games. So they're 6-1. They're playing pretty freaking hot. And I had to look at it. Shout out to the fine people of, well, several sources, as a matter of fact. When you find a player prop that kind of target, I use a couple different sites, a couple different databases for player prop purposes. And I've been kind of reluctant. I like the player props in baseball, mostly, as you guys know, the RBIs, and I'll get into the strikeout props, but a little more reluctant across some of these other sports, especially when there's a big card. But when there's not, I'll start running the models. I'll run the profiles. I'll look to see if certain players do qualify. And this player certainly does for us. I'm looking at the Philadelphia Flyers, and I'm looking at Dvorak. Guy comes into the squad. Do they give him the big extension? What's going on out there with this guy? But anytime goal scorer for Dvorak, plus 290. Available at DraftKings. A big price tag. Now, you want to get real cute, you can catch the Flyers at plus 105 and parlay them with Dvorak and try to get like the big 3-1 for, I guess it'd be almost 5-1 score for your money. I may have a couple dollars sprinkled on that, but the reason I went to Dvorak is because he ranks in the top 25 overall in expected goal scoring opportunities. You know how crucial that metric's been for us when we look at where these players are shooting from. We try to come up with these hybrid scenarios of goal scoring opportunities, number of shots that they're taking, the lines that they're playing on, the special teams that they're getting involved with here. And Dvorak checks all of the boxes for the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, they got a couple guys out there. There's no doubt about it. But you do have to look at this guy. Top 30 high danger shot attempts, top 50 high danger expected goals. And you're getting almost 3-1 your money for Christian Dvorak. Comes over from the Montreal Canadiens, La Habitants, early in the season out there, kind of figuring out his way, finding a way out there. And you look at the Columbus Blue Jackets, despite their recent performance, their coach got fired for a reason. So at some point, the levee breaks and the goal scoring commences against these Columbus Blue Jackets here. I'm not sure that I can get there tonight, especially when you're looking at the fact that you've got Vladar coming back from the injury. But he was pretty fucking good when he was firing out there. Before injury, 2.23 goals against average, 90.9%. That's one of the best in the league. Not just as an arbitrary assessment, but if you stack rank this guy in terms of number of starts, quality starts, and his record, 6-2-3 over an 11-game stretch for a bag of shit Philadelphia Flyers team. Then he leaves. They go 2-4-1 without this guy. So I'm looking at Christian Dvorak. I'm looking for some Philly firepower out there. I think it's a good Philly spot, but I really like this Dvorak to score an anytime goal. I don't do them very often, but when I do, I try to make sure that they're plus money at 3-1. It feels like a little bit of an RBI prop, a little bit of a juiced RBI prop, as a matter of fact, to get us paid like the World Trade. Let's go. Let's see what you guys have to say. Shout out to everybody that's here. Rockin' Blake M says, good evening, Nicholas Handy. Andrew K. Shakur versus Tio this weekend. Let's go. Blake N likes the Queens -5.5. I lean to the over in that game. Nasty Nate's got the Celtics second quarter. There's PWR Critter. Peter Grassi is here. Robert McCormick. Stop Geo says, good luck, everybody. Cody, there he is, the Skunt Bag play of the day from none other than our Skunt Blaster. He likes the full card, as a matter of fact. He's going to give us his full card. Let me put this on the big screen for you guys. He's got the Rangers money line. He's got the Cavs money line. He's got the Grizzlies money line. He's got Boston U +2.5, and then Washington State money line from our guy Skunt Blaster, the old Skunt Blag play of the day. TK Protection Firm likes Boston U +2.5. I didn't even look at that game. I might have to see a couple of you guys talking about it here. I'm going to put it on the old radar. Boston U, I appreciate you guys sharing. +2.5 seems like the going rate. Nasty Nate likes Pritchard over 2.5 threes. 9 Legacy looking for the paid in full parlay. He's got Tennessee, Florida State, Hurricanes, Baylor, all on the spread. All spread plays for 9 Legacy. I'd add in there Tennessee under. Why not? Why not? That may be a play that made the premium card today. Irish Kings got Boston first quarter -1.5. Will hit. Second quarter, don't hit. Oh. Nasty Nate says it hits today. Michael Johnson's here. He's on the Cavs. Michael Johnson's giving us the Cavs play. I gave you guys the Dvorak play. Let me talk to you about this Colorado Avalanche game. I kind of gave you the profile. I don't want to get involved on either team. I can't shake what I remember telling you guys about this goaltending Linus Ullmark issue that's taken place and just, eroding, deteriorating the confidence, just the chemistry in this Ottawa Senators team. But at the same time, I'm not seeing it carry over. I mean, they're 24-21-7, sure, but they're playing 500 hockey, I guess. I don't know. I mean, when they play teams like Nashville and Carolina, they lose. When they play teams like Columbus and Detroit, they win. So sharp perspective bettors did move this number. It did come down considerably. Well, it was all the way down to +120 earlier this afternoon. It did bounce back to +130. So you do need to know that there is a little bit of this yo-yoing effect that's taking place. So sharp bettors bet it early. Public's still looking at Colorado saying, give me the Avalanche here. And yeah, I get it. This team's red hot, but they're just 4-4-1 in their last 9 games. So are they a 500 team? Were they due for regression? All things that really matter not to me. I'm going to look at the total in this game. I like the under. I think when we do get Blackwood, 32 of 33 saves last time out, damn near perfect, 97%. 4-1 win, Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto Maple Leafs, at least the boys showed up to play in that game from a Colorado Avalanche perspective. Game stayed under as well. Blackwood not playing great, though. 76.6% prior to that stretch of games out there. 0-2. He got shelled in both games, 11 goals on 47 shots. So, do the Ottawa Senators have what it takes to get out there and get on top of this guy here? They kind of, my estimation, they got the blown load theory. They scored 7 goals and beat the Vegas Golden Knights. It's a lot of goals to be scored for a team that I'm questioning chemistry. Now, Linus Ullmark came back the other night in that 7-1 win. Did they show him love and support on the bench? I don't know. I didn't watch it. 7-1 is a fucking blowout. There was no need to watch it. But I'm looking at this one and I'm just thinking, hey, again, you got a guy, James Reimer, old as dirt, 37 years old. Probably got to go out there and be a defensive-oriented team, especially knowing that you've got fellas like, just the whole Colorado Avalanche team that can go out there and strike is what it comes down to me. 4 goals on 19 shots for Reimer's previous game as well. So there's an element of bounce back to me in this one. Avalanche being at their coldest of the season. Ottawa Senators having just blown their load. Goaltending yo-yo and circus going on out there. To me, this just has the feeling very... I don't want to say wide open pace, but it just doesn't feel to me like we're going to see a lot of goals. I feel like this is one of those opportunities where we jump in. It's contrarian. It's a plus money opportunity for us as well, saying, hey, you just saw the 7-1, but I could see this being like a overtime 3-2 type of battle royale out there for these squads. So I'm going to take the under 6.5. That's the way I want to get paid, like the World Trade. Shout out to MMA Locker Room Mills in the house. My guy Mills is here. He says, Nathan is the best thing on ice since vanilla. Vanilla on ice? I don't know if I've ever had that. Vanilla Coke? I'll tell you what I did have the other day was a vanilla caramel vodka. It was hard to finish. It was hard to, matter of fact, I didn't finish it all. I left like the swill. I know I can't really see that, but I left like the swill in the bottom of the glass. Andrew K says Luka. He's looking at some Luka action here. Luka's covered 11 first quarter overs in a row. I think they raised his first quarter total to 11.5. Oh my goodness. Wow. We'll write Luka down. Luka will make the must keep my eyes on board, especially when it's a smaller card. So that's what I got for you guys. Shout out to Jerry Davis in the house. He says, Avs for me and playing Colorado, team total over 3. All right. Jerry Davis says, Reimer, think you give up 3+. Oh, my locker room says vanilla ice. Okay. I got you, the rapper. I got you. I got you guys. I was a little slow. I was a little slow for that one. Nasty Nate says White over 3.5 rebounds. Brown over 24.5. Pritchard over 1.5 threes. Parlay for plus 116 for our guy, Nasty motherfucking Nate. Let's go. Let's talk it through, guys. Let's get on to some college hoops here. I'll fire quickly. I've got a bunch of trends for you guys here. We'll talk some of these trends. We'll talk, I think, again, mid-major USA is where I like to play, and just these mediocre schools that don't get a ton of action. Now, unfortunately, the A10 is kind of like the upper middle upper. I don't know. They stink, but it's in my backyard, more or less, with a lot of teams in this conference that I keep my eyes on. I'm a Richmond Spiders fan. I really haven't been paying too much attention to what they're doing this year, but I'll tell you what, St. Bonaventure has been shitting the money bed. You'll see 12-8, but when they shifted over to division conference play, they just have not found their way. And, on the other side of things with Duquesne, so Duquesne to me is that middle upper. They're kind of like middle of the A10, time and time out. You'll see a team like St. Louis balloon up, and then I'm sure I'm skipping a bunch of them in the process here, but Rhode Island's and all all kind of the 500, a very competitively situated conference here, but not this year for St. Bonaventure. And that's been a struggle for one of my boys. I know he's a huge Bonnie's fan, and he's not having the best of college. It's never hear from the guy. They stink. They're struggling. But you look at this game here. Let me find it. Where'd it go? Where did it go? The Bonnies come in here on the road. It's a short trip going out there to Pittsburgh to take on this Duquesne situation. And You got a 3.5. In fact, you got the Bonnies getting 3.5 points, which kind of was appealing at first glance. I'll tell you, I looked at that and I said, man, are they that bad? And as I dug into it, they are. I mean, we know, the season that they've had. And I just kind of talked about their conference play out here, but I looked at the total. I think the home team in Duquesne is the spot that keeps me pushing to this under because we're not seeing St. Bonaventure put up at all. They're really in the shut up of the put up and shut up variety out there. You look at this side of things here, 62 points against that St. Louis team the other day. They did bust out Loyola, Illinois, 84-70. But that was their only conference win. 74 against LaSalle, 64 against St. Joe's. Fuck Fordham in that spot that got me last week, but 77-80. I mean, these guys have been favorites and getting dunked on every spot there on the board. So we got a bad team in St. Bonaventure. And then we got a 10-0 under for Duquesne. 6.5 points or more. Home favorite. Road game after a roadie. They play the under. They're at their home gym. They don't have to worry about their defense traveling. I thought long and hard about, I haven't had the best of luck with the team totals. I looked at the team total under 74. I liked it. It's a little juice on it though. So I just kind of went to the full game. I thought if Duquesne's going to come back home and play a little bit of that finesse basketball here, we got 151.5 on the total. So even if one side does rip it up, I'm not isolating myself to just one sole spot to get the cash out there. I think this is one of those situations where it is probably, an 80, 78-70 score. I'll toss that out there. 78-70. I think Duquesne probably wins here. The reason I smile when I say that is because I tossed out yesterday in the Instagram play of the day, the team to, I said the first team to get 75 probably wins this game. And the final fucking score was 75-72 and Michigan won. So I thought, wow, that was or not Michigan, but Michigan, right? Yeah, Michigan. Excuse me. I'm all over the place right now. Yeah, I got background noise going on here. Peter Gracia says Duquesne in Pitt, like the city, a lot of history. I won't be disparaging against Pittsburgh. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I like me a Permani's Brothers sandwich. I get down with the Permani's Brothers. It's funny, a friend of mine went to Pittsburgh for a hockey game there, Penguins game, a couple weeks ago. And he was like, what do you think I should do when I go to Pittsburgh? And I was like, dude, you got to get a Permani Brothers sandwich. He said, did you get a Permani Brothers? No, he didn't. I was like, dude, you fucking blew it. You have one chance to go. Well, not one. I mean, you could go to Pittsburgh again. But nobody goes to Pittsburgh from Western New York, where it was essentially the same. Rinse and repeat. Pittsburgh's the same as Buffalo's, the same as, the waterways are a little bit nicer with the three rivers. But anyhow, North Texas and Tulsa will take us to the American Conference. I like me some North Texas. And why not? Coming out 12-8. This Tulsa team's been the one that's been pretty hard for me to wrap my hands around. Hang on just a second here. I'm realizing. There we go. Technology change on the platform moved around their cash flow splits. It's funny. You get used to doing it the same way for so long, and then you start looking. It's like, what feels different? Why does something feel different here? Oh, it's because it's in a completely different fucking spot. All right, here, let's go back to it. So anyhow, 155.5 in that Bonaventure game is where that total opened. It's 151.5 at BetMGM, and now it's coming down to 150.5. You've got the correlated buying pattern, 52% of the bets, 54% of the cash coming in on that one. And I'll tell you this, if you didn't check it out, LaSalle and Fordham, I'll try to be done a few minutes early so you can go back and at the very least, do me the favor and hit that thumbs up, hit the like button on the Instagram play of the day. It's a short 2-minute video. And I told you guys where I think this play out comes in for us here for a big payout out there. In fact, almost a 2-to-1 payout. So when we get done with the show, if you could kindly, I'll drop the link back in there for you guys to smack it, like it, see if we can't get out there and cash it with a little bit of afternoon or 7 p.m. action Let's go to North Texas, though. Let's go to the American Conference. North Texas opened up as 10.5-point dogs. Borderline disrespectful, because you look at this Tulsa side of things. 79% of the bets, 81% of the cash did come in on North Texas, and the lines come down from 10.5 to 8.5. But which win do you want to give them? The Memphis one? Is that Memphis win for Tulsa really that big a deal? I mean, Memphis is middle of the road. It seems like all these middle of the road teams are middle of the road. So is that their big win? I mean, it was 83-66. So I was kind of looking at that one as their margin of victory. Then they go on the road against Rice. They don't cover. They had just covered 3 in a row, but North Texas comes into this one. You know, they're on a 2-1 in their last 3 cover streak as well here, and back-to-back home games. So they take it to the road. Now, what's impressive with North Texas is the absolute beatdown that they've been putting on teams out there. So while I'm talking about this Tulsa team, and I'm not excited with the exception of that Memphis win and who they've played and who they've beaten, well, I'm looking at this North Texas side of things and thinking their style might dictate the race here. 71-63. They went on the road at Tulane, 1.5-point dogs, busted them up, almost double-digit win. Then they go out to UTSA, huge favorite, 15.5, but they win by 19. Only to circle back around the toilet bowl that is North Texas. They play East Carolina. They lose that game 63-59. So I'm seeing this number come down. I'm seeing a team that, you know, win one, lose one, over one, under one. I mean, both these teams are inconsistent when it comes down to it. So the hardest part for me was I like North Texas, but just like college football, I've been on the wrong side of some North Texas battles. So what I did look at was the under. I thought, hey, there's another opportunity. Put them in the dog roll, 8.5 or more. 9-0-2 to the under in its last 11 games. And that's where I thought North Texas playing the better basketball probably dictates the style and tempo. I want to try to find a trend that's not fading a team as much as encouraging me to play on that team. And if it's a dog that comes in this point that can go out there and win the game, that's where I want to be. And again, not saying that I think North Texas wins this game, just more of an opportunity where I think they keep it a lot closer. You know, and the thing about that is if you've got this line coming from 10.5 to 8.5, part of the way I was able to back into this is you look at like they're inadequate at free throws. They're inadequate at 3-pointers. Like they've got a significant margin on the top. It's a significant margin, but both teams are pretty fucking bad at it. So it's kind of like, all right, I just don't see how we get this thing running up and blowing the top off the gym. It just seems like we have a low-scoring, defensive-oriented game. And if it's going to be low-scoring and defensive-oriented, that's where I think North Texas has the edge. They're almost 2-1 in blocks and 1.5-1 in steals. If you can block, you can steal, you can lead the turnover possession battle, you're alive. You're ready to fight. You're ready to fire. And I think that's exactly what these boys can do. So give me the under. Give me the under 140.5 for the college hoops game. Number 2, Derek Davis says North Texas 7-0 to the under. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Wesker says good enough for me. Peter Grassi says got only under 150.5 now. It's all right. It's all right. Peter Robert doesn't like fries on the sandwich. He says no fries on the sandwich. The Permanti Brothers sandwich is not for. I love that story. I love that story of how it came to be out there, where they had the mill workers, right? They before things were unionized. I'm sure I'm bastardizing the story, but before things got unionized and they were given, union mandated lunch breaks out there when they were working at the steel mills and the coal mills, they were on the clock and they would get these sandwiches with French fries. And they said, well, I only have 10 minutes to eat my lunch. So put the fries on the sandwich for me and I'll go back to work. And essentially, I believe that's how the Permanti Brothers sandwich has taken off. Now, there's some pretty good games that I've got some premium action on the winnable side of things here. Just trying to break it up here. Some spots where I thought there were some bigger trends or some bigger angles in our direction. But I kept it moving. I looked down the line. I'll tell you that Minnesota-Wisconsin game, I want to take Wisconsin to beat the brakes off Minnesota. I think this is a good Wisconsin year for those boys. And that Houston-TCU game, god damn, I want to get in on that under. 138.5. I was close. That's a 9 p.m. start, so I still may pull the trigger in that spot. But I went to Illinois State and Murray State. The Mountain Valley, or not the Mountain. What is it? The MVC. Thank you. Illinois State 14-7 on the season. Tough game against this Murray State squad, right? I was looking at this one going, what do we have here? We have a 2.5 point spread. It came down from 4.5, and it sat all afternoon for your Permanti Brothers lunch at 2.5. It's now moved to 1.5. I should get a lunch sponsor. I should do a lunchtime show and get a lunch. Oh, sneak peek for the baseball season. Anyhow, 67% of the bets and 60% of the cash have come in on Murray State. So a little bit of some bigger money coming in on the Illinois State side of things here. The old Cardinals, them pesky little Cardinals. High total at 159.5. It's getting love to the over, but it's not really showing the move to the over. So this is one of them totals where the other day I was talking about the unders and I said, if you like overs, this ain't the show for you. Not so much in this case. I mean, look, two teams moving in different directions in the passing of night here. Illinois State's won back-to-back games. Granted, they were at home and they're going back on the road, but it was Indiana State that I think fucked up this Illinois State team. So they were losing and battling and playing tight game, big spreads, a lot of love from Vegas on this Illinois State team, just making them 10.5 point favorites, 6.5, 7.5 point favorites. And they just weren't able to cover. They play Indiana State. They're 6.5 point favorites. I mean, look, they lost back-to-back big games as big favorites. But they're still sitting around 6-4 in conference play. And Murray State, back-to-back road losses, comes back home, see if they can keep the Enterprise moving in the right direction. And I just respectfully disagree. We look at these two teams here, and it's the road dog teams allowing less than 10 3-pointers a clip in this Illinois State spot. Illinois State specifically, we look at trends, we look at league trends, we look at team trends, and then we look at player or coach trends situationally, respectfully. But it's Illinois State that finds themselves a perfect 14-0 in that road dog role against a team that allows less than 10 threes per game. A high total just kind of tells me that they stay tight. It's those threes when teams go on that extent. We've seen it with March Madness when they go on that extended rip of just three-pointer. Next thing you know, it's an 18-0 run. We don't see that with Illinois State basketball. And we see, if anything, that we get to buy low on a team that's in a 14-0 position. So I'll take the 2.5 points with the old Redbirds here, the Cardinals. Give me the Illinois State squad with the plus 2.5. Probably gets the win outright, gets themselves back in the right direction. And again, team on a winning streak, team on a losing streak, team going out on the road, team just coming back home. It kind of lines up and checks all those boxes that we look for in scheduling situational spots. What say you guys about that? Jerry Dave says, 100, Mikey. If I ever go to Pitt, Permanti Brothers sandwich be on the first stop. It should be, right? It's only right. It's only right, Jerry. It's just like in Philly. Pat's and Geno's was first stop. I'll tell you, Pat's and Geno's was my first stop and second stop when I moved to Philly. Actually, that's not even true. When I first moved to Philly, I went to some real shithole over by the stadiums, by the bridge in the stadiums, the 95 bridge. It was like under the bridge downtown. Lactose intolerant with no milk money. Anyhow, Pat's and Geno's was number 2 and 3 on the list. And then I don't think I ever went back to them. That's to mention, just so many cheesesteak places. Why wouldn't you want to try Tony and Joe's, Conshohocken? Write it down, underline it. Get yourself a Franzone's pizza while you're at it from the area. Best. I enjoyed both those very nicely. Redbeard says Redbirds Moneyline for Redbeard. Shout out to you, Redbeard. Who was it too? NJ Striker. I'm not sure if he's here, but he commented on a tweet that I put out there today, and he said that I told Shark to smash it. Put a post out there of a dude, and he said the dude was fucking killer. So what did I know? So shout out to NJ Striker for letting me know that my meme retweet was probably Politically insensitive. Jerry Davis preferred Gino over Pets. Oh, man, I don't even remember. I don't even remember. Tony Luke's was good. Chickies and Pete's was good. I can't even remember. They're just not good. He says Gino. I guess I'd probably go Gino over Pats. I literally went to him each once. Probably had him somewhere at lunch for something, like a catered lunch of a business meeting or something. But yeah, I could tear. I'd take. I'll tell you what. I've been so out of the cheesesteak game in Philadelphia. I'd take either one of those fuckers right now. Jersey Mike's ain't bad. I put myself on the. I saw somebody posted the other day, like the old Philly mob boss there was like, this is my daughter got me a Grubhub. And it's of this Jersey Mike's place. And he pops it open. And he's like, where's the meat? Where's the meat? He's like, takes a bite and throws it out. I mean, yeah, it could use more meat, but it was still a good sandwich. Oregon State opens at +6.5. They've dropped a full point down to 5.5. Road team public. Road dog, as a matter of fact, 77% of the bets, 82% of the cash coming in on the Oregon State side of things, and respected movement. Not sharp respected betting, but respected movement. I can give you guys some SRB numbers too here today. The total went from 140.5 to 141.5. So we got a full point of movement in the upward facing dog position. 68% of the bets, 71% of the cash involved on these boys. And the spot that I looked at here, you might think this guy just loves his unders. This guy never met an over he would take, and I tell you, you're wrong. Because I like overs in Oregon States. Oregon States and overs. Easy to remember. They both start with an O. Thing is, you've got, kind of that point of correction, aka the buy low. But they played a St. Mary's team. And the WCC, I think the WCC gets a couple contenders for the tournament this year. Don't look now. And we'll talk about one here in a minute where both teams can make it. I mean, Oregon State's got some work to do at 3-6, but they're playing a shit bag Loyola Marymount team that, look, 103-72 against Santa Clara. That's a team we'll talk about in a minute. They put up 103 points, 76-70 the last time they played, none other than Oregon State. And so that line cruised over the number by 5. They increased it a half a point to a full point now. I think we rinse and repeat. That was at Oregon State. If Oregon State can go on the road and put the points up. Now, last game, they only got 51 against St. Mary's. A little scary, backing on a team. But it does kind of feel like it's a bounce back spot against a team that kind of plays a defensive optional game. And when I told you about the Oregon State and the overs, both start with the O, no bullshit. Think about it. 9-0. Oregon State to the over, road dog, as long as they're not even in 19.5 points is the number. If the team they're playing averages more than 7.8 threes. That's why in this conference, the overs for Oregon State and several teams for that matter make a lot of sense because it does feel like there's just a lot of 3-pointers in this conference here between the Zags and St. Mary's and San Francisco and Santa Clara. And I mean, you're not getting 101 points by going out there making fucking free throws and 2-pointers, right? You're going out there splashing. Everyone's getting fucking wet from that thing out there. 103-72 at Santa Clara, January 10th. For this Loyola Marymount team, you're letting people shoot all over the fucking parking lot. Shoot the Dave Chappelle skit. Shoot the J. Yeah, we're going to take the over in this game. I like this over 141. We'll take that 9. We'll go to 10 straight for this one. Peter Grassi says Philly cheesesteak is something. Redbridge says Wawa makes a good cheesesteak. Dude, I miss Wawa too. It was so strange to talk to people about. They'd be like, what was one of your favorite late night eat spots? I mean, there's some good diners, right? But I remember living in Conshohocken. I'd come down the Schuylkill Expressway there, 76. And right when you're turning down, you make that big giant fucking roundabout there. It's like, how did they decide to make this the turn? And then you get down there and it's like, hey, you make that little right there before you cross the bridge on Fayette Street. And there's fucking Wawa. And at 3 a.m, you get yourself a fresh made sub. Anything you wanted on it, dude. Fucking outstanding, right? Jerry Davis says cheesesteaks all I eat at Jersey Mike's. Yeah, I haven't gotten the other things look good. Gosh, it's dinner time. You guys know the deal. Jolly Green says the West Coast doesn't understand Wawa or Sheets. Both are fire. Sheets is fire too. There's no doubt. There's quite a few good ones now, man. They put a Burn Dairy up this way. Burn Dairy might be the fastest growing fucking shithole I've ever seen. And they do a good job with it, man. They got good. Listen, you guys don't know. It's not a gas station sub anymore. It's a fucking quality sandwich from some of these places that are pop-ups, and you get some cheap gas while you're at it. Speaking of WCC, and where I suggest or project some teams to make their way through the dance here, you can probably zigzag. You can start with Santa Clara this game. I mean, it's a big spread. They're minus 9.5. It started at 8.5. It's moved to 9.5. 62% of the bet, 61% of the cash on the Santa Clara side of things. And you get the totals moved up a point from 149.5 to 150.5. So I do like Santa Clara to beat their ass. It's because I think Santa Clara is going to beat their ass that I think San Francisco will have a difficult time keeping up. Now, mind you, we just talked about Santa Clara putting up 101 points. And that was at their home gym. And that was against a shitbag in Loyola Marymount. So kind of got to be cognizant of that. But the San Francisco team's not really getting themselves into the points. You know, they're finding 65, 70. Yeah, they played that Loyola Marymount team. Shitbag. Remember, Oregon State, Loyola Marymount. We're going to the over. They let Loyola Marymount put up 82 points on them. Or 84 points on him, excuse me. So I don't think San Francisco is going to go on the road in their current form here. Inconsistent with the win one, lose one. They covered double-digit spreads, and that's what got me off of the side for this game. Wouldn't surprise me to see these assholes just come in here and keep it close. You know, it's Santa Clara, so which Santa Clara do we get? Do we get the 85 points on the road against San Diego? 62 points at home against St. Mary's? Or the 103 at home against Loyola Marymount? But I'll jump in on this under. I'm feeling feisty with this one. I just kind of looked at this and thought, I think this is the game where San Francisco just struggles to keep up, and Santa Clara realizes we're going to play these guys again in a week. We don't need to worry too much about what happens from the outcome of this game. So let's just go out there. Let's get it back home. Let's get it back right. They had 3 straight homes for Santa Clara before one roadie, now coming back home. They're 1-1 on the road against the Zags. They got busted up 89-77, but they were 16.5 point dogs. So it's kind of like you got a team that's covered 4 of their last 5. Santa Clara should dictate the style and pace of this game. And if that's the case, it's keeping this San Francisco team below 60 points. And if we're going to pick up a total in this game that, you know, we're sitting here at 150.5, well, shit, if you start breaking some of these down and you look at things like team totals, their team total's 80.5. So meaning Santa Clara. So 81 to 60 gets us well under the number. And that's kind of the mark that I had for this one, was an 81.60. I'm going to write that one down too and see if we can't see how close we get to a couple of these projections. And that's going to do it for college hoops. I've got 2 games in the NBA for you guys. We'll put the bow on the show. Jerry Davis is Santa Clara, lay the wood. Mr. Wesker's like Santa Clara against the spread. Jerry Davis had nothing but good experience at Wawa and Sheets, dude. They have this. I actually taught. Hey, listen, I'm a man of the people. I go into this fucking corner bodega. Used to be a gas station. Now it's still a car garage. The side that the car garage on, they're building a liquor store. And I said, what the fuck is going on with this liquor store? Because it was supposed to open back in like October. October 1st is what the dude told me. Well, it's not open yet. And it means an extra 15 minutes on my fucking drive each way. So we're talking the convenience of it being 5 minutes down the street versus 30, right? Anyhow, they sell this pizza called Hunt's, I think it's called. It's fucking garbage, dude. I was telling them the other day. I was like, this pizza smells good, but I know it's not. It's like, what do you mean? How do you know it's not? I said, I had it before. It's one of them franchise brands where they basically give you a fucking shitload of frozen pizzas and they give you a pizza oven to stick them in. And that's how they consider you having pizza in the shop. It's terrible. Terrible fucking pizza. I added a game here, the Warriors and the Utah Jazz. this is the game that I was talking to my guy Shark about this one. And I said, this one kind of makes a little bit of sense here. 7.5s have moved to 8.5s, 59% of the bets, 54% of the cash on the Utah Jazz. Okay. The Jazz sat everybody yesterday for this game. We saw a 115-103 beatdown. 7.5 was the spread, moved to 8.5, still covered. Winnable, I believe. We had, no, it was here. Was it here or was it winnable that we had the Clippers? Anyhow, doesn't matter. Utah Jazz 1-4 in their last 5 games. Now, I'll tell you this. There's a big time trend on the Golden State Warriors. But I said, inevitably, when I looked at this game for the Golden State Warriors, the reason they get these big time trends is because they're almost cheating the trend game. What I mean by that is they'll be a 10.5 point favorite, and then everybody sits and they drop to a 6.5 point favorite. So, like, the depth and the detail of the offense, and it's just not there. Now, it is Seth Curry signing day. If you guys saw that, Seth Curry picking up $800 million from Nike to be the most player-rich incentive deal probably since Michael Jordan or LeBron James. I don't know. It's a big deal for Steph Curry. His brother Seth is out. Kuminga's still out. Jimmy Butler's out, of course, but everybody else looks like they're a go. Now, this is a late night game, so we got to be a little bit careful, but I just thought this is one of those spots where you see this Utah Jazz team comes back and answers the bell. You know, should they? No. And so it's like every ounce of being in my body tells me, go out there and whack this Warriors team. Warriors away in the favorite role after a win are 24-1-1. They are 9-0-1 in their last 10. And yet I'm sitting here telling you guys I'm playing on the Jazz. And why? Because it just has that feeling like the Jazz either win by 30, or I'm sorry, the Golden State Warriors either win by 30 or the Jazz win outright. And you might be saying, that's crazy. They're going to win outright. You know what? A sport of double-digit kings. It's 30 and 56 when teams are priced between plus 200 and plus 400. But that's up over 25 units on the season. So even though you see a double-digit number and you start thinking, oh, shit, what's going to happen? Well, listen, they could be alive. It's just, what does Golden State decide to do to dictate their pace and tempo in this game? So I'm going to fade them. I'm going to take the Utah Jazz. Side with my guy Shark from a little afternoon action. But then the last game I got for you guys, the Spurs and the Rockets. Look, we don't need to belabor the point, you guys. I told you I wanted to give you a couple minutes to go over there and check out the IG side of things. So I'm going to jump in on the Spurs. 2 things going on. 3 things going on. 1, I think there's 4 things going on. This is one of my favorite spots of the day. You know, a couple things. 1, the Rockets. The Rockets in the favorite role seem to struggle. Now, I know you're going to look at their home record. You're going to 16-3 at home, right? The records show you that. By the way, 46% of the bets, 46% of the cash came in on the Spurs side of things here. I think the Spurs, as the runner-up for the Vegas NBA Cup, end up becoming the Western Conference finalist. I told you that 100-1 proposition. Detroit. Spurs. NBA championship. Rockets just came off a win. It was a win against Memphis. It was a win 108-99. They're 11-point favorites. And they get too many points and they're just not playing hard at home. I mean, we've taken some thumpings over the month of December and January on this Houston Rockets team, but the Spurs, they're kind of in a little bit of a slumper right now. And that's kind of why I want to buy on them, because I think this team will bounce back. I'm not saying it's their due spot. But I'm saying when you look at lineup and personnel, you know, you've got the Rockets just played that Memphis team. They had a tough spell up Northeast, and you got a bounce back revenge opportunity for the Spurs. They just lost 111-106. Granted, it was at Houston. It was like a week ago. So now you're in a situation where you just lost. You know you need these points if you're going to go out there and compete. And these guys pose the biggest threat to OKC in the West. So Victor Wembanyama, Kevin Durant. A lot of fun to watch this game tonight. Shout out to KD, fucking smashing. And And then Reed Shepard's a guy. I looked at his points. Guy's off the bench, so you're going to get a low number for this guy, but 21 points in 29 minutes his last game out there. You got to take a shot. Why the hell not with this guy? But I like it. I think this is a spot, even without Vassell. I mean, I know he's in, but he's kind of on a minute count, right? 25 minutes his first game back. To me, this is a good San Antonio Spurs. Bounce back, revenge. Look for a big game at a Wemby. Look for the boys to go out there and fire. Look for a qualitative depth game out there. Keep in mind, Wemby only had 14 points that last time they played. So you think he's going to do that twice in a week against the biggest rival that they face in the Western Conference at the current moment? I think not. I think the Stars show up. I think they show out. I think we get ourselves an opportunity to take the San Antonio Spurs at the +3. And I was going to drop the link in for you guys at the end of the show. If you could kindly do me this favor and go over, give it a check out. Oh, is it not going to load now? I'm trying to do it on the fly. I guess I'm just happy my internet didn't freeze. I guess I got to just be happy that we didn't freeze. It's Instagram.com/Sports Money Network. Instagram.com/Sports Money Network. And catch the free play of the day. There it is. Ah, fuck. It's all messed up. That's the way I'm going to put the bow on the show for you guys. And thank you guys all for being here. You can see it on screen there as well. You can see the logo for the Instagram spot. You'll see the associated account. Go check it out. Go check out the actual play of the day over there. And I'll be back here to do it again with you guys tomorrow. So we got a big show. We got a big weekend coming up here. This is just the middle of the week. So go easy, pace yourselves, but have some fun tonight. Get these player props down, get these sides and totals down, and see if we can't find ourselves to the victory window in college hoops. And expecting a big college game, not so much in the NBA, but good luck to you guys. Have a great evening on behalf of the Sports Money crew. I'll be back tomorrow to see you guys at 6 p.m. for Pregaming.